Hello there, it's Matt again, the Vinyl Minimalist, and today we're going to talk about a very special album, which is Blue Train by John Coltrane. So many of you know this album. It's a legendary album. It's a Blue Note, of course. Almost any Blue Note album can be told to be a legendary album. So this is, of course, a one by a legendary saxophone player, John Coltrane, and this album is particular for many different reasons. One of the reasons is that this is the only session that John Coltrane recorded with Blue Note, a legendary label. The other reason is that this is actually his very first real album where he was a leader of the band. This is actually his second album. Before, he recorded another one called John Coltrane. I guess that was with Prestige, I'm not sure about that. In any case, this is the one where he actually chose the players that he would play with. And the plays are really great. So it's Philly Joe Jones on drums, Paul Chambers on bass, Lee Morgan on trumpet. What I like a lot is trombone in jazz. So here we have a trombone player, Curtis Fuller. And the photograph also is quite legendary. By the way, quite recently I learned that John Coltrane is sucking on a lollipop. So this is one of the photographs made by Francis Wolff. Francis Wolff was one of the bosses of Blue Note, the Blue Note label, and he was also the one who would take all the pictures, all the photographs, and many of the photographs would become quite legendary. So this one, he's actually not sucking on a reed or anything music related. He's sucking on a lollipop. Usually, Francis Wolff would take series of photographs, and when you have a look at the photographs taken before, just after this one, you will see the lollipop in John Coltrane's hand. Yeah, some people who know a lot about music also claim that on this album you can hear for the first time the so-called Coltrane Changes. Now, Coltrane revolutionized jazz by many different means, of course, but his most well-known and most important contributions are the so-called Coltrane Changes, where he tried to, it's kind of difficult to explain, you're better off to just Google it, but put in my very simple way, he would play the chord patterns, and he would pick up the chords that are the most far away from each other possible, which would give this very peculiar music. So you can hear this music best on Giant Steps, one of his famous albums. Yeah, so here on this album you're supposed to hear signs of that. A legendary album in a great shape, and I'm going to rid of it because I don't feel it's good for me. So quite often you will be told by many different people, oh, this is a legendary album, oh, this is a legendary player, and you're supposed to like that music. To be very honest with you, I like some part of the music that is on that album, and there is other part of the music that I just don't like. And I just don't see any reason to keep this in my collection. And if I would keep it in my collection, it would not be because of myself. It would be because of the people that know a lot more about jazz, the people who know that this is a legendary album, and the people who made this a legendary album. And it's just not me. So one of the reasons is the music. I really love the opening track, Blue Train. I love the riff at the beginning of the track, the very famous one. Actually, I like the A-side a lot. However, the B-side to me is, I would put it, not that mature maybe as a style of music. So there playing hard bop. That's what most of the jazz historians would tell you, that they play hard bop. But to me, the B-side, that's bebop. That's kind of Dizzy Gillespie kind of music. I think this was recorded in 1958. The B-side, to me, that's more of 1955 or 54, and that's just not music that I enjoy listening to. Curtis Fuller, the trombone player, he's playing a very bebopish style. He's playing very rapidly, plenty of notes, and I think that's a pity, frankly. So that's the first problem I have with this album. The second problem is this is a DOL, or maybe you call it DOL pressing. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. This is a European pressing. I see it was printed in Russia. Whatever. And I'm okay with the sound on this pressing. Some people claim that the DOL pressings are not very good, they do not sound good, whatever. I don't care about the quality of the sound. I mean, I don't have the problem with the quality of the sound with this one, but what I do not like is the quality of the cover. If you have a closer look, and I hope you'll be able to see it, you'll see that the color here on the cover is slightly distorted. Can you see these points? This is not unified color. That's kind of this grid. And I thought that was just the way it's supposed to be on the original photograph or whatever. It's not. When you have a look at the original cover, you will not see any bizarre stuff here. So that's the first thing, but I mean, I could maybe live with that too. However, the liner notes, well, the liner notes, what they did was that they scanned the original liner notes, and then, you know, there's this computer program that transforms the scanned text to written actual text. That's what they did. And the problem is they did not correct the text that was transformed by the computer. They did not correct the flaws, the little errors. So you've got different. I mean, you can read the text, of course, without any problems, but it's just not well made. It's badly made, frankly. It's badly made, and it's, well, I don't like it. So we got a legendary album that I kind of enjoy parts of, but not all of it. And every time I take it out of my vinyl rack, I just notice that it's kind of not perfect, and I'm getting rid of it. Yeah, so that's just my point of view. I mean, you could say, okay, I could just wait until I get a better copy, but should I get a better copy? I don't like the music, I mean, that much. I could try to listen to music over and over and over again, and maybe, well, probably at some point in time I would start appreciating it, but that's just not the case right now. And I think we should not keep the records because everyone tells you they're great and you're supposed to keep them. You should just keep the records because you really love them. And unfortunately, this is not the one for me. Yeah. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope to see you in the next videos. Bye bye.